Okie dokie. Conservatives of Texas established 2019. Alex DeAnda here with Kelsey Richardson and our special guest, Commissioner Warren Coble. I've told him to put that commissioner on there. He doesn't want to. He's so humble. And, we've had that talk before, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, you do what you need to do. And so, but I know he's elected and I respect that. So tonight, the reason we're on is because I wanted to give Kelsey an opportunity to speak on an update that she received today. And I think it's very exciting. Several months back, we were speaking on a situation that I kind of had heard about when I was growing up, but I really didn't know how to apply the verbiage or what it really meant. And it wasn't until recently that the issue came back up, and we're finding out that this is something that really is quite bothersome to folks over there in the North Heights area. So Kelsey's been involved, working hard, working diligently in this arena, and she received a letter today that I felt like we really could roll out. I think it's very exciting, and we just wanted Mr. Commissioner Coble to kind of be involved because he was involved with where we were at to begin with. So, Kelsey, if you don't mind, kind of explain a little bit on what occurred, and we'll let you read the letter.
Okay. Well, so Mr. Coble, as you're well aware, when we had our last bond election for the school district, the school had offered a kind of like a come ask questions if you want to about the bonds, and we'll tell you what it really is at the cultural center over in the Heights. And I wanted to go to that just to kind of see what people over there thought about it, if it was going to affect them differently than it would affect people on my side of the town. And people over there were just going, we don't care about the bond. We're busing our kids. Let's handle that first. And then we'll talk about extracurricular stuff. And nobody cared. And I remember not even fully understanding what busing was, and you having to explain it to me. And then we did a podcast and talked about how it had affected generations over there, and no one has done anything to change it, regardless of how many people have asked or how many people have told their local government and local authority, like, this needs to change. It's hurting our kids. Our kids are never home. They're on the bus all the time. And then when they get home, they're not themselves because they're never here. They just are zonked. They're exhausted. And so, we had talked about it, and you had expressed really the only way you knew to get through to them was to file a formal complaint with the Office of Civil Rights. And so even though I was, fairly new into everything, the only thing I knew to do was to do what you were telling me to do. And
okay, I will. That's me some kind of way.
Figured out. And so anyways, I went ahead and took that initiative, and I filed a complaint with the Office of Civil Rights. And, at first they had called me and said, well, we don't understand why you're filing a complaint. What is this? We don't know what's going on. And I had said, well, they're busing these kids and it's not right. And they were like, are you saying that they're discriminating on people because they're Black? And I said, it's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's affecting the kids in this area only in my town. And this is what needs to be done. We need to stop busing them and give them their own school. Our school district is blaming it on desegregation laws, and they won't help us help the citizens over there. So I need help. And she said, well, the only way we can do this is if we say it's affecting people because of the desegregation. I said, just put whatever we need to on the form. We need, the school is saying the only way we can get any kind of movement is to contact y'all. And y'all are saying, this is the only way to do it. So just do it. And so I filed a formal complaint. I had to sign all this paperwork and send it in. That was in April of last year when I sent all that in. And so now today I finally got a letter back. Alex, can you click on it? It won't let me. Mr. Coble, I'm sure you can't see that.
I cannot.
So I'm going to kind of read it to you, okay? It says, the U.S. Department of Education, the Office for Civil Rights, Dallas office, has opened an investigation for the above referenced complaint filed against the Amarillo Independent School District, which was received by the OCR on April 29th of 2022. Your complaint alleged discrimination based on race. Specifically, you alleged that in continuing to implement a desegregation plan dating to the 1960s, AISD discriminates against African American students in the North Heights area by busing them long distances to schools outside of their attendance area. While we strive to process the complaints we receive in a timely manner, we acknowledge the length of time that the OCR has taken to evaluate this case, and we thank you for your patience. So it kind of goes on down there saying, they're going to open a full case on this in the Dallas office. As far as I know, and I'd like you to correct me if I'm wrong, is this about as far as y'all have gotten on this before?
I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know how far they've gotten. There's been a bunch of dilly-daddling, and the people who has the answers. Well, Alfonso, no one has any of the initial paperwork that was signed. The NAACP here didn't have a regular home office, so they've had to move the records here and records there. And the only other thing we knew is that they had a record at AISD because each area was doing local signings. This was not Texas gunshot, but each ISD did their own stuff. And I will tell you, I think you've gotten further than anyone that I know.
Good. We're not done fighting yet. We're gonna make this change and help the kids. I mean, it's gone on long enough.
Well,
and I'm sorry that it's taken somebody that didn't really understand it.
I was trying to get Alex and you guys where you can talk with Reverend Harris. It's Reverend Harris. I've met with him. Alfonso's met with him. I'm talking about with Reverend Harris. And now Melody.
Mm-hmm.
And Melody, it took her a month for Reverend Harris and them to get to see the president of the superintendent of school. And that's not until March the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any meetings going on in between that time, I'm going to let you guys know. I've already told Reverend Harris about you guys and that there was somebody out there working for us, working on behalf for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the latest thing that we did, now Reverend Harris it's kind of like you, Kelsey. He's a fact digger. And one thing we thought which we could use to help push this is to give them the number of predators in these areas where the bus actually stop and pick up the children.
Mm-hmm.
And in that area, we're talking about 70 maybe sexual predators.
Mm-hmm.
We've also, James has been doing this all along. This has nothing to do with this, but James has been working on the lighting. So, Kelsey, y'all have gotten further.
Okay.
Alfonso and those others seem that they can never contact anyone or get anyone to respond. I need a copy of that letter.
Yes, I'll get it to you.
Well, Kelsey,
I'm sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
And excuse me, Commissioner. Kelsey's been doing a lot of hard work, and I really commend her. As Conservatives of Texas established 2019, I'm so happy that she continued on, and I know that we went out and we spoke to the school board about it, and we were told by Superintendent Loomis a target date to even start moving on this once again would be
into it.
Yeah, it's going to be August of 2024, and that's just not acceptable. So what we're going to commit to you, Commissioner, is we know that you're very busy, and we don't mind doing a lot of this legwork because I can't imagine how busy you are now that you're newly elected. We're just going to continue following up and doing our due diligence because at the end of the day, as Kelsey will tell you, it's about the children. You know, I can't imagine my young ones, you know, being out there in the dark. And we're not even talking about the winter months. And I know,
pictures. I know you've taken pictures.
yeah, and so it's just something that we have to do, you know. And so something else I want to share with you guys, just to let you guys know what we do as Conservatives of Texas. I don't even think I've shared this with you, Commissioner. I'll read it to you. But for the longest time, Title X has been utilizing taxpayer money and monies to do certain things that are not in parallel agreement with how we as parents would like. And I'm going to read this article to you and to Kelsey. Kelsey already knows about it, but I haven't read it from this article. It comes out of The Guardian, and I'll just start now. It says, Texans under the age of 18 are now legally required to seek approval from their parent or guardian in order to obtain birth control from federally funded clinics. A federal judge in the state has ruled. Title X, the federal grant program, which was created in 1970 in order to provide family planning and preventative health services, was ruled a violation of state law and parental rights by federal judge Matthew Kaczmarek in December of 2002. The judgment was issued in the case of Deanda versus Becerra, which saw plaintiff Alexander R. Deanda argue that Title X prevented him from raising his daughters in accordance with Christian teaching on matters of sexuality, which requires unmarried children to practice abstinence and refrain from sexual intercourse until marriage. So these are just types of things, and there's more to the article, but I just wanted to stop there because you kind of get the thrust. You know, for the longest time, these clinics were able to circumvent parents knowing and knowledge of them getting IUDs and birth control particulars without our permission, without our consent for the longest time. And now, Commissioner Coble, it's against the law. They can't do it anymore. We've stopped it.
That information.
Yes, we've stopped it. And you can figure out that the Alex Deanda there is with who you're talking to here right now with Conservatives of Texas. And I just want folks out there to understand that Kelsey, Richardson, she's working hard. We have these meetings, and that's what we're doing with this group. And I just want folks out there to understand that we're just going to continue on working. And when Kelsey reached out to me this afternoon and showed me that letter, I was just,
wow.
I said, yes, great job, Kelsey, because, right now, Commissioner, she's running for city council, place
yes,
one.
Sir.
And you've heard me say before, all these folks are going to come out of the woodwork and they're going to say things like, this is what I want to do. Well, I want folks out there to understand that's great. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. But what I want the constituency out there to understand is this is what we want to do. And this is what and the other candidate, which is this is what we are doing and have done. So Kelsey, great job. And we wanted to share this with you today, Commissioner, because we know that you've been in this fight and you've been involved in the busing situation for 5 decades, almost 6 decades.
Almost 6 decades, yeah.
And we're here to tell you that we're going to continue fighting no matter what. Kelsey?
Well, I appreciate you joining us, Mr. Coble. It's always a pleasure.
Listen, pleasure is mine. I thank you for the education that I've been given tonight. I'm going to say this. I don't know really how to say it. Sometimes, because I'm a direct person, an egg is an egg, a dog is a dog, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. Sometimes I'm stonewalled because I ask just direct questions and think there ought to be simple answers. I understand there's not a lot of yes or no answers, but the answer should be simplistic. And if you don't know the answer, just tell me I don't know, and then let's try to find the answer together. So I'm finding a lot of that. I'm asking the right questions, and I'm asking them to the right people, but they're stonewalling.
Well, for folks out there, continue praying and being a voice of truth out there. We do want to let you guys know that we are having a fundraiser for the Kids in the Heights, and Commissioner Coble was the very first one to give to that. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of platitudes that are just from beyond, So he's a man of his word. And when I spoke to him about this fundraiser, he was the first one to say, "Hey, come pick up this money." You know what I mean? And so great for you. We have a fundraiser that where we're going to get 20 kids at a time from the Heights, and we're going to go have a day of fun at the Vault, which is called Legacy Airsoft and Gaming. Israel Derek, he is the owner of that, and he's partnered with us so we could get that done. Our target date is July of 23, and we're looking to raise about $9,000. So if anyone,
can you say that number again? You cut out. What's the total?
$9,000.
9,000. Okay.
And so that'll take care of their day of fun there. I think it's about 4 hours for each student, and also to feed them. So that's all I have on that. Kelsey, I know that you wanted to make a little small announcement about your meet and greet tomorrow, so go ahead.
Well, first I want to just kind of encourage everybody, you're never too small to affect change. If you know there's a problem, use your voice. You live in a country where, you don't have to have power to make change. Just you being there, just you showing your support and solidarity with people goes a long way. When you know something is wrong, it's up to you to do something about it, not hide in a corner. So stand up whenever something's wrong and do what you can to fix it. That being said, there's something wrong with our city, so I'm standing up to fix it. If you guys will join me tomorrow, I'd appreciate it. We're going to be at Youngblood's Cafe downtown. We'll be there from 7:30 a.m. until about 11:30 in the morning, just kind of depending on how the flow of people goes. And I hope we'll see you there.
That's right. And one thing I've learned about that word controversy, Kelsey, it's not the subject matter that's controversial. It's the person deciding whether or not to step up. That's the controversy that I found over the years. Commissioner Coble, we think the world of you. We love you, and go ahead. Yes.
Could you do me a favor? Are
Yes,
you going to be at Youngbloods tomorrow?
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
Are you going to be at Youngbloods tomorrow? Okay, okay, I'll bring it to you. Since you won't come get it, I'll bring it to you, okay?
Okay, I know what you're talking about. He gets on to me about that because I've been saying I'm going to be that way. I'm going to be that way, and I'll make sure Israel gets it. And so thank you so much for that, Commissioner Coble. Kelsey,
right.
keep up the good work, and very commendable.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kelsey. Coble. Keep up the good work. Please do. Don't stop.
You too. Bye, guys.